One of the scriptures that fascinates me is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5.
Okay.
You know, where God said, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. And I called you to be a prophet unto the nation.
That's deep.
When I think about that scripture, I ask myself, does it pertain to only Jeremiah or it pertains to everyone?
Okay. I think with that one, it pertains to everyone.
Which means that everyone that is born on this earth has a purpose.
Oh, yes.
Everyone has a purpose.
Definitely.
And somebody may ask, what is purpose? I've had this question asked many times at conferences and even when I lecture at places. And one of the best definitions that were given by Miles Monroe, the late Miles Monroe, is that it is the manufacturer's purpose. Purpose is what the manufacturer intended that this thing be used for. And which means that for everyone that is born on this earth, God has a purpose for the person. And one of the things that I've also observed is that when it comes to purpose, God brought us on this earth to solve a problem.
Okay.
So every one of us has come onto this earth to solve a problem.
So does it mean that finding your purpose is more like you are solving a solution?
So
solving a problem.
Thank you. So when you begin to solve a problem, something that you are passionate about, something that you find that is appalling, you want to correct it, then you are discovering your purpose. And it's very important. Everyone that is solving a problem is fulfilling their purpose. You see, Miles Monroe said something. He said, the most dangerous thing that can happen to a man is to live without purpose. To live without solving a problem. To live aimlessly. You know, and I want to tell somebody listening to us, you see, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, your background, your academic status, everything, you are a solution to a problem.
Wow. But not all people know about it, because
not all people know about
they
this.
just go up and then they are just linking around. You don't even know what is purpose. They think purpose is just like going to school, going to school, coming to this place. But the real them inside of them, they are yet to unveil it.
Yeah, you see, many of us are living purposeless life. Let me give you an example. You see, one story that fascinates me is the story of Jacob and Esau.
Okay.
See, Jacob and Esau, even in the womb, God had chosen Jacob already.
Yeah.
But Esau was to be an inheritor of a great nation. Because according to tradition, he was supposed to be the one being the head of the father's property.
Exactly.
But he sold it, exchanged it for food. The guy lived an aimless life.
The red beans is nice.
Yeah. But it's interesting that, even at the end of the day, he fulfilled purpose, even though he did not fulfill God's given purpose per the tradition in those days.
Yeah.
Okay. But then at the end of the day, he became richer. Even though he didn't inherit the covenant, he became very rich at the end of the story.
I'm thinking like God already prophesied before they came to birth.
Yeah.
So can we say that Esau was just fulfilling purpose because God has already prophesied? So definitely the plan of God is going to stand.
Yeah, then we can say that.
Like acting. He was just acting what has been prophesied.
Yes. Yeah. So the fact is, anyone listening to us, if you want to discover a purpose, the first thing I'll say is to go back to God. God manufactured us. So go back to God and ask him, why am I here? Why am I on this earth? Why am I in Ghana? Why am I in America? Why am I born? Why am I born in Kumasi? Why am I even there? This is why am I dark? Yeah. But the interesting thing I want to point out is that no matter who you are, no matter your personality, whether you are melancholy, whether you are phlegmatic, whether you are sanguine, whether you are cold, whatever you are, even if you are dark, you are short, you are fair, according to the description of people, you are ugly. You have a purpose.
You have a purpose.
Yeah. So it is to discover. I have seen people do great things by per the standard of society. They don't qualify, but they've done great things. You understand? So it is important for us to discover who we are, discover the purpose. And I said, go back to the manufacturer. God made it so. And then one other thing is to see what we are passionate about.
Yeah. Okay.
What fascinates you? What makes you happy? What do you wake up and dream of that? This is a problem, I want to solve it, or something that you can easily do without even being trained. You know, in Africa, when I was growing up in Ghana, you know, we could easily pass as engineers. You know, we could mold cars with clay and everything we could do everything. But then the schools, the school system just beat us to become whatever we are now. But we thank God for how far He's brought us. But we must always look for a problem to solve. So if maybe there's a charcoal seller somewhere, that person is solving a problem. People need charcoal.
Exactly.
The teachers are fulfilling purpose.
The go bestseller.
The go bestseller. The go bestseller. The go bestseller is also fulfilling purpose. So it is important for us to just find what we can do to solve a problem in society. One of the challenges we have is galamsey in Ghana now. We need to find a way to solve some of these things. But I want to go back to the Bible.
Okay.
And there is a story of David and then Saul. Okay. One of the things that killed Saul's kingship was comparison. And comparison is one thing that can easily kill a man's purpose or prevent him from fulfilling purpose.
Wow, that is very deep.
When you begin to compare yourself to other people, maybe this person is more educated than me. I'm a PhD holder. Somebody may not be a PhD holder, but the person could be a better speaker than me, a better orator, a better writer, a more analytical person than me. But I can't compare myself to those people. I have an assistant pastor who, that guy is charismatic. They call him spiritual bulldozer. They call him mantle. When he stands here now, he'll shake this place. I'm a teacher. I don't compare myself to him. Okay. When I take the scriptures and I divide them, he can't meet me there. So I can't compare myself to him. Okay. So, but people who begin to compare themselves to other people, they do not fulfill purpose. Why? Because once you feel that this person is better than you, you limit yourself. You can't achieve what God wants you to achieve.
So this comparison thing is more like a distraction.
It's a distraction. Yeah. It's a distraction to you be focused on what God has assigned.
Exactly.
You understand? And that is a challenge we have. Many of the times we compare ourselves too much.
But most times...
And you know, one of the things that make people compare themselves too much is social media.
Exactly.
Social media make people envious of other people.
The pressure from social media. I have met people in person, in real life, who don't look as nice as they are on social media. You go to Instagram. Instagram is even the worst. You have people, they look so nice, no pimples. They are using filters. When you meet them in real person, their faces are rough than sandpaper. Oh, messy.
You understand? So I think that we do unnecessary comparison. We do unnecessary competition with people. That's why we are not able to fulfill purpose. You understand?
The background for this comparison is from where we are coming from. I think it's from where we are actually being raised, from our family setting, where we schooled, where we were nursed. You know, most in this Ghanaian setting, it's more like when you're growing up, your mother will be like, Akwasi, so it's like the child growing up will come out with this inferiority complex, and he or she will be always looking up to other people to fill that gap that, oh, I'm also this person, I'm also important. But then that fulfillment comes from knowing your purpose from within.
Yeah.
But that is why we don't know about it.
Let me share this story with you. I heard this story on another podcast, and it's interesting. So this young lady went to school. She had a friend who was a neighbor. I think after GSS or something like that, she decided to get married. So she got married, and every time she comes with a friend who has decided to go to school and say that, hey, won't you get married? Then the mother of this unmarried lady will say, look at your colleague. Look, she's married. Look at how she's living her life.
Pressure.
Then this lady said she decided to go to school, and she chose the path of school. But she confessed that it got to a point in time, it got to her.
Yeah.
It really got to her that she considered.
Yeah, because words are spirits, they will come to you.
You
They will
understand?
be sowing on your hearts.
So do you know what happened? The story ended like this. She got to go to the university, came back one day. This lady who was married for years couldn't give birth.
Okay.
But she's still married. Now, when this lady came back from school, and then this married friend came, the first thing she told her was, don't ever talk to me about marriage. Sometimes you got to shut some people up, especially if they want to put you in that scale of comparison.
Okay.
Shut them up.
Yeah.
Because you need clarity of mind, you need focus to achieve your purpose.
That's one biggest thing that we don't know how
We
to
have
say.
to begin to silence some voices in our head.
Yeah, that is it. Say no to certain voices, certain
You know,
relationships and all that.
And I'll give you a typical biblical example. Saul and David, I was talking about them earlier. Saul is a king. This guy was the first king of Israel. That is a title nobody can take from him. David was a younger shepherd boy
Shepherd boy,
who has nothing.
a red boy.
And then, by the grace of God, he goes to kill Goliath for the nation. And you see, every victory, every soldier fights for the king.
Yeah.
The victory goes to the king. So that when Saul allowed this thing to enter his head, that is when he began to envy David, sought to kill him. And at the end of the day, he lost his kingship.
That was insecurity.
Insecurity. So we must learn to silence some of the voices. And most of the time, it takes people to distract us from our purpose. And it takes voices. So we must silence these voices, keep some of these things out. And another thing that keeps us from fulfilling our purpose is fear.
Yeah.
Yes, one thing that can cripple you.
It's a huge thing.
It can cripple you to the extent that you cannot achieve anything.
That is why, when you check the Bible, most of the times when they encountered an angelic being like the angels, the first statement they'll be like, fear not.
Yeah.
Because fear can cripple you that you can't even receive what God wants you to receive.
Yes, that is true. And you see, and one of the things that I've noticed that many of us are afraid of failure. I was talking to a young lady. I see a lot of potential in her. So I was speaking with her and I asked her, what is wrong with you? Why are you limiting yourself? She said, I'm afraid I will die young. I'm afraid that I'll not achieve my purpose. I'm afraid I can't do anything. And I'm like, no, that is the first thing the devil places in your mind to keep you from even starting. So people are afraid that they'll fail. And I had my own share of fear. Yeah. I'm asking myself, if I'm speaking now, somebody's judging me. Look at how this guy is going. He says he's a PhD holder. I was ashamed of even my personality, myself, my bald head. Are you getting me? Yeah. So these are some of the things that make us not go all out to be who we are. People are afraid. We are always afraid. You see, there's nothing wrong with being afraid. There's a proverb in Ewe, fear is life. But there's one kind of fear that can keep you in perpetual poverty.
Yeah.
There's that kind of fear that can put you in perpetual stagnation, that you cannot achieve anything for yourself. You cannot solve any problem for yourself, your community, your family, your nation. Nothing. So we have to rise up from our fears and achieve that which God has given unto us.
But the fear of failure.
Yeah.
You see, you can't be a successful person without encountering failures.
Let me tell you, that's one scripture. One scripture that popped in my mind. It said, "The righteous shall fall 7 times;
Okay.
they shall rise."
Mm.
So that is the confidence I have.
Mhm.
When we start, we fail. Let's go back and start again.
Mhm.
There is a proverb in Norway that says that "Megako ani jepa ko ani mroho."
Interesting.
Don't use
That's
the
the
place where you are
everywhere.
falling as a sleeping place. Rise up and move. When you fail, we try
Even the
again.
Bible says many are the afflictions
Of the righteous. Yeah.
So that means that you encounter them.
The
And it
encounters
is
will come.
It is part of the process.
Yeah.
It is molding you. You know, certain times when we encounter these failures, it's really shaped us to become better than we used to be.
Yeah.
But then many people are afraid to fail, but you can't be successful without failure.
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of the process.
Yeah. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times.
Not to talk of Elon Musk.
Elon Musk and all those, or even these modern millionaires, they all failed at a point in time.
Every glory, there is a story.
Yeah.
But then we don't see the story. We just, lavish about the glory.
The glory, the success, and all those.
Yeah.
We don't see the failures. We don't see
sacrifices
behind the scenes. Yeah.
The reject. Charlie.
And one other thing that I've noticed is that many people do not want to change. They don't want change. It's not fear of change, but they don't want to change.
They are cool in their comfort zone.
I go to a church where we said this is how we do it.
Okay.
And I'm part of the leadership team. And then I said, look, I'm a young man. From the university. Hello. I have friends who had left the church. I asked them why. And they said, because that is changing. We go to the university, we come back, the pastor has not changed the message. When I say change the message, I don't mean the Christos center of the Christ being the nucleus of the message. No, the presentation has not changed, the settings has not changed, nothing has changed.
Interesting.
And then these people can fit into the system. You go to Lagos, you go to Tech, you go to these big universities, you have the DAGs waiting for you there. You have the global evangelicals waiting for you there. You have the Catholic Castle waiting for you there. And these people are hungry for change. They want the young guys. And these young guys go and experience these things. They come back to their village, their settings, and nothing has changed. Something ordinary, something old is still going good. They don't want to change. So I told them, can we bring some change? They said, no, this is my house. If the young guys will continue to live. But back to purpose. People don't want to change. Let me give you a typical example. You know the story of Israel?
Yeah.
The Israelites were in Egypt, a place of slavery and suffering.
Torment.
Yeah. But God comes and says that I have a better place for you. Listen to this. I'm going to give you a place where it is flowing with milk and
honey. Wow.
There is plenty there. You are free from being a slave.
No restrictions.
But you know something? To get there, you got to go through the lungu. You have to pass through the desert.
Process.
You have to go through the process. You have before you get to that place. The people said, when we were in Egypt,
it was better.
We were eating. There was nothing like we're eating meat. At least we were slaves, all right, but we had something going on.
People easily forget when they encounter problems.
Yeah. You understand? But God is taking us to a place. Anybody that loves the comfort zone cannot achieve purpose.
My pastor taught me something about the tea bar, Lipton kind of thing.
Okay.
He taught us, it was a workers' meet. He was like, look at the Lipton bar. When you put it in cold water, it will ooze a small amount of the liquid you want. But if you put it in hot water,
change the environment.
Get enough of it.
Change the environment.
So he was telling us that we need to come out of our comfort zone to do the best. Because if you're in your comfort zone, you can't do best. You can't unleash more out of you.
I tell you.
But then if you are pressed like the wine, if you are pressed, if you are crushed, if you are bruised, that is where the oil flows from within you.
To get diamond, to get gold, it needs to undergo heat.
That is what we don't want.
Intense heat to refine it to be the finest. So we don't want change. if we want to change, if we want to fulfill purpose, then we must learn and accept change in our life. We must leave our comfort zone. And I want to say this: your environment can determine your success,
Yes.
or whether you fulfill purpose or
Very
not.
true.
Your environment.
Very true.
I'll give you an example.
Very true.
I used to live in a single room, small room. I told myself I'm a student, so I need a single room. So I'm in a single room, and truly I behave like a student. You understand?
Yeah.
I dress like a student. I work like, but I'm a big man.
It's like your
I'm a di-
mindset has
I'm a
been
director.
oriented
I'm
to
a
that
director. Yes,
place.
I'm a director of an institution, but I began to behave like a student. You understand?
Amazing.
Then when I changed my environment to a bigger space, more spacious, more classy, befitting of my status, I began to think maturely.
Wow.
Not only as a student, but as a student who is more practical, more analytical, of a PhD status. Do you understand? So I was talking to somebody, and she told me that, okay, I don't want to mention the name, maybe she may know herself. But she used to live in a community where everybody knows her to be this particular person.
Okay.
Now, you take her from that community and bring her somewhere
A
else. She
different
becomes a
place.
different person.
Oh yes.
The dressing changes,
Everything.
the way she speaks changes,
Yeah.
everything changes. So if we are willing to fulfill purpose, we got to change our environment. We got to change who we are. If you are a manufacturer, if you are a producer, if you are whoever you are, if you don't learn to change, nothing changes about you.
There's the saying goes
So-
that when it comes to Rome, do what the Romans do, because when you come to them, they have their own culture, they have their own values and systems,
Yeah.
and you have to adapt. In as much as you are unchangeable, you have to renew your mind. Even the Bible, even our Christian life with God, God said you have to renew your mind. Do not conform
To the pattern
to
of
this world, but renew your mind. So in every kingdom, every state, there are rules and regulations that governs it. You have to decide and purpose your mind, like change your mind that in this institution, this is what we are going to do. So I'm adapting. I want to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without change, they can't be purpose fulfilled.
And for change to happen, we got to read more. We got to feed ourselves with different information.
Yeah.
I always give an illustration to my students. I tell them, when it comes to transformation of the mind, transformation of the being, it depends on the information you feed yourself.
Yeah.
So if you used to feed yourself with round information, if you are being transformed, you are either transforming into a triangular information or a rectangular information.
Whatever you feed on grows you.
So I said, I always tell them, if you encounter me for 2-3 years and nothing changes about your life, leave the church.
Wow. That's
Leave.
very deep.
Because then I'm not transforming you, I'm not helping you to transform, I'm not helping you to think. You understand? So anybody that comes to me, I want to make sure that we begin to look at things differently. How can we become better people? How can we become better versions of ourselves? It all begins with change. I used not to love to dress in tie and all this stuff.
Official.
Yeah, I love my t-shirt and my jeans. But there are places where you cannot take these things to. There are corridors of power you can't take these things to. I got to change how I think. I got to change how I dress.
Yeah.
And that is the only way I'll be able to fulfill purpose. You understand?
So that means that mindset has a play
yes,
in fulfilling purpose.
whatever you feed yourself. You see, there was something I read sometime. It said, a man who has set his mind onto something will surely fulfill it.
And such as a man thinketh, so is he.
Once you set your mind on something and you don't change it, you can do it. You have to change the way you think and make sure that you focus on it. So fear, comparison, and not willing to change can distract a man from fulfilling purpose.
Why is it difficult for people to change?
Let me tell you something. If I'm comfortable here, I know that I know my kitchen is there, this thing is here. I don't have to stretch myself too much to get the things I need. Everything I need is by me.
Around you.
It's comfortable.
Okay.
But if I need something different, something new, something extraordinary, I got to go out of my comfort zone. I get it. So people are comfortable in the state they are. People are okay with what they. It is not okay to be okay with the ordinary. God has wonderfully made us
Okay.
to be great people. There's greatness in every one of us.
Yes.
And greatness does not come at ease.
Yeah, in the book of Psalms, you say we are fearfully and wonderfully made.
To fulfill purpose or great things, we got to move from our comfort zone. We just have to move from our comfort zone. You see, when I wanted to do my PhD, I was okay with my master's.
Okay.
And I was okay with the money I was getting. I was just okay. I wake up in the morning. My salary, I thought my salary was okay. I move from my bedroom. I go and lecture, then I come back. I go and lecture and come back. Then I'm seeing opportunities to lecture at bigger places, more advanced institutions. But I was comfortable with where I was. I thought it was okay. Until I started meeting people. And I realized that no, there's more to life. There's more to academic. There's more to knowledge.
I love it. You said you started meeting people.
Yeah, I started
so
meeting.
That means that association has a role to play in fulfilling your purpose.
The people you associate yourself will determine whether you are moving forward or you are moving backwards or you are stagnant.
That's beautiful.
And I always tell people, change your environment, change the people around you. Every stage you get to, you have to change people. Change friends. I'm telling you for a fact.
So changing them, is it with a mindset of sidelining them, or is like
there are some people that they'll win off by themselves because you are becoming too hot for them to handle.
Okay.
You are becoming too pompous for them to handle. You are becoming too proud for them to handle. That is how they are going to describe you. You are becoming, you see, your dressing is changing, the way you speak changes, the things you are carrying. You used to go for some gossip meetings, Now they see you. You are going for a very important funeral. You're going for a political rally. You are going for a podcast.
Okay.
That is talking about something.
That alone will repel them.
You don't go and sit and gossip. They are like, this guy is not showing off. He thinks he's better than us now. When I started my education, I became a better version of myself. Understand? So, to make things short, let us change our environment. Let us deal away with fear, and let us learn to change from our comfort zone and stop comparing ourselves to others and associate ourselves with great minds. They said small minds discuss people.
Yeah.
Great minds discuss ideas.
That's good.
And anybody that wants to talk about money, let's talk about money.
Yeah.
Kingdom, let's talk kingdom. Anything that would bring shame and disgrace or something, Charlie, let's take it off and focus on what is more pure, more glorious, and better for us.